right. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Right. I'm so much excited to be here again. And I believe for as many of us that we are watching right now, we are also excited. And I'm super excited, right? And especially for today's topic, it's something that, you know, I guess will caught so many people's attention, which is talk about personal growth and professional development, personal growth or career growth, personal growth, professional development or career development. And I believe this is a subject that interests a lot of people. And even if someone is not interested in topics like this, it's a topic that concerns a lot of people. I think maybe that's the word. It's a topic that, irrespective of the area you are in life, you need to develop your person. You need to grow personally. All right. So I'm excited to have my guest here again. For as many of us that attended Growth Confluence, you definitely must have seen my guest before. And I'm super excited. Our conversation during the Growth Conference, I remember I already booked the session. And I guess as many of us that we are here right now, we would, I mean, you already have expectations already. She's not someone you don't know. All right. She's not someone you don't know. So you already have expectation that, oh, come on, pour it on me again. Right. So I am going to bring in my guest. She's already here with me in the studio. She's no other person than um, Omotola. Let me bring her on stage. Okay. Omotola, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I guess you are still in Nigeria. All right. Okay.
I'm still in Nigeria.
All right. So just to be sure, because everybody now they are looking for escape route. So let's be sure that we are still in this thing together. Right. And I want to say thank you so much for coming again. It's the last time we had a conversation like this, it was really a good one. All right. It was really a good one. It was one that, people come to me personally and give me feedback on sessions like this. And I mean your session was one of those that people kept on referring to. Thank you so much. And I personally have expectation for today's engagement, and I believe for those that are watching us currently right now, they also have expectation. Once again, you are welcome, Omotara.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again. It's a pleasure.
Right. Yeah, you're welcome, man. So I guess you are still in Benin. How is Benin currently?
Okay, so the funny thing is that in the previous session that we had, right, I was in Benin and I was working a different role. So now I've moved into a new role and I've also moved back to Lagos. So yeah.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, so you are currently in Lagos. Wow.
Yes, I'm
Wow,
currently
that's
in Lagos.
good. That's good. That's
And
a
the
good one.
beautiful thing is
Congratulations
that,
to you.
yeah, thank you. And the beautiful thing is that I wouldn't mind you inviting me again. So maybe by that time I would have moved roles again.
I was actually about saying that okay, my business that will invite me again. Maybe it's going to be another room. But I'm really excited. Congratulations to you. I'm really happy to hear that. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. And maybe we'll start from there. How in I don't know how many years you've been working, and you've served in different roles. I mean, maybe we should start from what's the place of personal development in leadership. I mean, moving from one responsibility to another. What's the place of you developing yourself in the several roles you've served in the organization? Maybe let's start our conversation from there.
Okay, so thank you. So for me, I would say that I've been quite fortunate because working with a reputable company such as where I work, there is already that establishment, that ground where anybody coming into the business is equipped. So we have a capability session of a capability session in the business that caters to building capabilities, grooming people, you know, equipping employees on different aspects. So I think I've been really fortunate that having come into the business, right? So those programs are continuously in place to equip me, for the next role, certifications, the trainings that are needed, to us, succeed in your goal. So I think that is what has helped me. Because if you were to be maybe a different organization that doesn't really cater to capabilities and such, maybe I wouldn't be this equipped. Maybe I would have had to do that on my own, on a personal level. But yeah, I'm really grateful for where I am. So I think that is what is currently helping, and a few other things. Uh, Basically, that's just it. Having a capability team within your business that helps you equip employees. So whenever there is that opportunity to move roles, it is there in their curriculum to see what are the trainings that are needed, what are the certifications that are needed, what are some of the things that will help you, in your new role, and they start equipping you, from that point, and then until you get into that role.
Wow. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I think we should then move further to, we call this session blueprints, growth blueprints. And I remember from our last conversation, it was like you already had maybe kind of a plan for yourself, for your life. Maybe not exactly where you will work or what it is. So I want you to talk to us about the importance of having what I call the growth blueprints, or maybe a plan for your life. What's the importance of having, a plan for your life?
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's highly important that you know where you're going. Even the scripture says, write a vision, make it plain, right, so that you can run with it. So it might not be a very robust plan, but at least have something, sketch out something, okay? Even if you don't know the end game, at least you have a starting point. So it is best that you know what you want to do first of all, and that stems from observing yourself personally to know the kind of person that you are. So maybe a little bit of my story, yeah. So I grew up to be a very timid person. I hardly talk. I hardly converse with people. You know how Yorubas would say that you let elders speak. When elders are speaking, you're not supposed to speak. Yeah. So I kind of
Yeah.
grew up in that kind of environment, and along the line, I realized that I talked less and acted more. Yeah, yeah. So more often than not, yeah, you always see me expressing myself in writings, and that kind of maybe affected me a little bit growing up. But I was able to understand my personality that okay, yes, I think this is who the environment has shaped me to be. However, what is that niche that I can also find myself that can help me even regardless of whatever it is that I've experienced. So I figured very early in life that okay, maybe I might not be a very outgoing person, a very social person, a business person. You know how a business person is not quiet. They are constantly talking about their business and all of that. But because I was this person that, I hardly talk, so I knew that maybe business was not for me. Maybe in the long run, as time goes on, I would definitely delve into that. But I knew that from the starting point that that was not for me. So I then figured that okay, so maybe a career or a research kind of thing would be my calling since you don't necessarily have to talk too much, to
Yeah.
really develop in those areas. So that was for me, that was my starting point, right? So I didn't go after business, I didn't go after anything that would just make me there, in people's faces. I just wanted something really cool that I could do without talking too much like that. Yeah, so then I started up with okay, I need to get a job, and from there I need to start maybe working towards getting a master's degree, doing research and all of those were just my 2 points, right? My at least starters. And and over the years now I can see that I found my place, especially in an organization where you can be silent. So because of that, I've also been groomed. Like I said, the capability team has also groomed me to speak, because oftentimes, yeah, I get invited to speak to people and all of that, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not equipped. Like I shy away from those things because I felt like it was not time. I had not developed myself to that point. But now I think I'm gaining grounds. At least I'm speaking to people again for the second time, and that shows that something has changed or something is changing. So even if I want to delve into business right now, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, to be a success definitely. So again, for you to plan your life, you need to have a starting point. You need to know, and that stems from understanding yourself, right? Maybe
Yeah.
if I started up a business, maybe I would have failed, and I would feel like, oh, maybe I'm a failure or something. But because I was able to figure myself, very early enough, I know that, okay, yes, I need to start from this point. And having gotten into an organization like that career space, even though at the top of my head, I may not necessarily know, what I want to achieve, but I know that for anybody that gets into the career space, their aim is to go higher the ladder, right? Keep
Yeah.
climbing the ladder maybe till you achieve the MD or CEO, or so that's basically where you start from. But
Right.
it might not happen so fast like you have planned it. And again, your plans that are susceptible to changes is because, again, we are living in a very dynamic environment where things change so easily, you know, and all of that. So it might not be robust, and you might have a end goal. Okay, I want to become an MD. But before you get to the position of an MD, you have to start from somewhere, right? And you have to give yourself some space. Okay, what are the things that I need to do to move into my next role? And then from that next role, what are the things I also need to do to move further ahead in life? So those are the things that you write down, right? So for me, there was this assignment to, like, okay, what do you want to be in the next 20 years? Okay, just picture yourself as an MD CEO of an organization. It could be where I'm working now, or maybe somewhere else, but just picture yourself, becoming an MD. So how do you want to progress in the next 20 years? What are your schedules? So for me personally, the job that I was doing previously, I had given myself a space of maybe 18 months to 2 years at least to walk that role before I move up the ladder. But as God will
Yeah.
have it, I was able to do that maybe within the space of just 9 months. I worked my previous role for just nine
Right.
months, and then I'm in a new role. So all of the things that I had written down that I was to achieve before I could move into the next role, have I achieved them? Yes, I wrote quite a number of certification exams, just to prepare me for my next role, and that happened, and here we are. So again, I can wake up tomorrow morning and then I say, oh, the economy is not that robust, or I want to have it changed. I need to, how they say that on water, like you cannot
Right.
take it's not just one route that enters into the market. So I can
True.
eventually still become an MDCU, but it doesn't have to be a straight line. It could be zigzag, right? I could branch out and branch in again. So definitely the journey may not be straightforward, but you already know the starting point and the end goal. So I
Mm.
think me, that's the two most important things that you need to note in your plans. So it could change along the line, but at least
Yeah.
you know where you're going to.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I mean, that would tell that it's important that our goals should be flexible, right? Because sometimes life happens, opportunity comes, and
Yeah.
it's just important that we make use of the opportunity that comes our way, right?
Yes.
But I want to ask you, to you, or in your journey towards growth, what is personal growth to you? What is and how has it helped you to achieve what you've been able to achieve? All right. Yeah. Let me leave it at that.
Like you said, from the word personal growth, it is personal. So we all grow at different times at different pace. So again, it is relative. So my own growth pattern could be, okay, I'm doing this, I've achieved this, and that. Then I can say, yes, I'm growing. To another person, it could be that, oh, he has achieved XYZ, right? And you can say, yes, he's growing. So again, personal growth is personal. So me changing roles, I can say yes, I have grown again in my career space. But outside of
Yeah.
that, there could be
Mhm.
other things that have also changed. For example, getting a new certification or being able to gain more confidence to speak to people again. So again, growth is personal, and like you said, it is personal growth. So looking at my own scenario, right, in terms of personal growth, would I say I've grown? Yes. In terms of career, I have grown. In terms of personal confidence and public speaking, I think I have also improved in that space. So I can say that I am growing. So when it comes to leadership as well,
Yeah.
there's a way changing roles gives you higher responsibilities, and now I have to manage more people than I was previously, and um, and trust me, it can be a little bit overwhelming at the start. But again, having the necessary backup, having the necessary trainings, having the necessary skills, certifications that will help you, to harness those opportunities and to be better at what you do is actually the key thing. Because trust me, you can't really understand managing people, managing responsibilities, if you are not in that space. It's very easy to
True.
talk about things, and then if you've not experienced that thing, you might not really know how important it is. You know how they say that talk is cheap until you
Yeah.
start experiencing
Yeah.
something, and then you know that yes.
True.
And in doing that thing consistently and continuously, you will start growing in it, right? So I think in
Yeah.
terms of personal growth, understanding that you alone cannot do it, but having the right
Yeah.
people around you, having the right kind of mentorship, the right kind of leadership, the right kind of friends that will cheer you up, even in difficult times, goes a long way to helping you manage your emotions, manage your skills, manage your whatever it is that will help you to succeed in leadership.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, for our audience, if we still have challenge with the audio, please let me know. But I can hear you. You can hear me. So basically, what we are both hearing should be what the output should be giving. But so if there are other, if there is, let me check. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for that, Omotola. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to ask you. You said something very important, and I really agree with you that personal growth, it's personal. But are there should I call it key steps uh, for someone to create maybe an effective plan? All right, because you mentioned that it's one thing for you to know. Okay, yeah, I was in a coaching session today, and my conversation with the fellow was um, having, I guess we spoke about it in our last conversation, having two good opinions. I don't know whether to call it opinion now, or maybe I should call, maybe two career
Yeah.
paths. All right, having two career paths. Both career paths are good. She has flair for one. The other is like an instruction. It's like a leading, and it's she's at that point of maybe being confused on what career path to choose. But I want to ask, how are there key steps to create a blueprint or a plan for personal success or for professional success?
Okay, thank you. Like I said earlier, knowing yourself is what matters. Knowing your capabilities as at that time is what will determine which career path to go into. So, like I made example for myself, I knew that from the start I was either going to be in the career space or in the research and academic space, right? And at that point in time, I was looking into both of them, but one clicked first, right? And maybe it would have been okay for me to also go for the other one. Maybe I would have also succeeded looking at my personality. Again, personality has a huge role to play, whether you're going to succeed in something or not. right? So I knew that two things were going to work for me: career and research. So ultimately, even if I decide to still go into research, I know that I'm going to do so well because it aligns so well with my personality. So, but I chose the career space because, first of all, it came first, right? While I was pursuing the other one, and I felt like, okay, yes, I'm working
Mhm.
with a very reputable company, and that can also give me a leverage to groom myself before, and they have opportunities, to even travel outside the country and all of that. So I was like, okay, so I was working to maybe go for my master's abroad, but then there's an organization that also has that potential, to also take me abroad and all of that. So I just had to like, speak to a lot of people, my friends, my parents, to see, okay, where do we start from? So I knew that if I was going to go for the master's too, I was going to spend a lot of money. And at that time, I didn't have that cash. So I was like, okay, let me go for career first. Then later we can switch into research. That's if that plan is still in place. All right. So if you are somebody who is caught in between two career choices and you just don't know which one to go for, definitely there's going to be the easy way out, the one that is easier, to accomplish at this present time, right? If both of them look too good that, oh, you are going to succeed in both, but at least there is one that will be too easy for you to blend in, right? While you also maybe in the later days then go over to the next one and just achieve. So for me, I believe that people can manage both careers. So for me personally, I knew that I could manage both career space and academic space because you see people, working at the same time, studying and stuff like that. So they are they are kind of like linked, together. So if it is a career space where they are not so linked together, they are like two different things. You have to weigh your options to see the one that can actually give you that flexibility to be yourself because you don't want to start on a difficult route. I don't know how people say that take that risk, dare to be different. You shouldn't be afraid to step into not so comfortable zone. Yes, that works. But if you have choices and you see that, oh, your one is going to be like a more rough path, a more rough path, while the other is like the easier way out. You can first off go for the easier one because with that you are able to build confidence in yourself, right? You know that yes, you can achieve this one, and once you're able to achieve that one, it gives you more confidence to in yourself to believe that yes, you can also achieve the second one. Unlike if you go for a more difficult path and then you fail, you wouldn't even believe in yourself that you could actually achieve the easy one. So it's best that you go through the easy route, and in that you build confidence and you are able to go into the harder part because you know that yes, since I could do this, I could also do that. So that would be my
Right.
advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And I really agree with that method. It's something a lot of people really do. Should I say maybe a lot of people do not agree with because many a times uh, people tend to pride on their ability to do something that is difficult, right? And sometimes when during time I talk to people and when they say, okay, this is the goal I want to achieve. Sometimes when I see some of those goals, I feel like, okay, I want to get a report of this particular goal because some goals are, and it's okay to set ambitious goals. All
Yeah.
right. I think the point is not to set ambitious. It's okay to set ambitious goals, but sometimes um, it is also better to set realistic goals. All right,
Exactly.
something that you know you can do. All right,
Yes.
because there is a way your brain works. If you are able to accomplish if you're able to accomplish a particular task, you have more strength in yourself to pursue higher task instead
Yes.
of getting overwhelmed. When I talk to people and they say, okay, I want to read maybe a book in a day. All right. I mean, that's good. It's possible to read a book in a day, but why don't and by the end of the day, you discover you're not, in fact, you didn't open the book at all. But if you decide that I'm going to read maybe 5 pages in a day, all right, and you you are able to develop yourself in reading 5 pages per day, 5 pages per day, a time will come. You just sit down, read books, the way you want. But I really agree with that method you shared. Omotola, I want to ask. You said something about challenges. I want to ask, what are the or should I mean, you love sharing your story, so I guess people want to hear your story again today, right? What's the biggest challenge you faced in what's the biggest challenge you faced in following your growth plan? All right, from when you finished your higher institution, maybe some coppers will even be watch, or should I call them ex-coppers now? All right, those that just finished their service year, maybe some of them will be watching us right now. What were the challenges, maybe even at the moment you finished the service year, or just tell us about your challenges or the challenges you faced and how you were able to overcome them.
Okay, thank you. So there's no human being in the world that is not faced with his or her own challenges, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
but these are the things that test our abilities. And you know how they say that you have to write an exam for you to pass. So if there is no exam, there is no pass or fail, right? So I see challenges as instruments, as ladders to move up in life. So first off, I would advise that you don't panic in the face of challenges, because challenges are ultimately what will skyrocket you in future or in life. They are the basis for your growth, for your development, and for your rising in life. So when challenges come your way, that is the best time to smile, because you know that yes, there's going to be something good to talk to about it. Something good to refer about it. So speaking to myself and what are the challenges that I faced, right after um, NYSC. So, like I mentioned in the previous session that we had, I said that I planned to serve in an organization where I knew that they are known for retaining their core members. So you have some organizations that they are known for retaining core members. So I was eager to serve with them because of that, right? And even though I had two options, like I got a job before my NYSC started, but because I was unsure of the other job, whether they were going to retain me or not. So, but then I knew that okay, one was definitely going to retain me. So I said, okay, let me go for the easy one, right? Again, the easy one. So I went there, I served, and it was at that point that COVID came, and they were supposed to retain me, but they didn't, right? That was one of the biggest challenges for me. And mind you, the couple that served before me, she was retained. The couple that served after me was also retained. I was the only one that was not retained. So it kind of felt like the whole world was against me. Sometimes I felt like, oh, like what is wrong with me? Like, is there anything really wrong with me? Could this be spiritual or something, something, something? Then you're the only one that isn't retained. So it was a really, really tough time for me. But what did I do? I didn't beat myself up so much, because I knew that right there and then God didn't want me to be in that space. God didn't want me to be in that organization. Even though I had worked my service here, I paid a lot of money, to relocate back to Lagos and then serve in that organization. But I still didn't get the job. But then I didn't beat myself up so much. I think what helped me was that I had started the conversation earlier with the management about retaining me, and I was able to know on time, right on time, even before I finished my NYC, that it wasn't going to happen. So I started applying for jobs, applying to jobs rather. As far I could see, I kept on applying, and I kept on doing, series of interviews and all of that. And eventually one came through, right? And guess what? The salary was just 30K. 30K. As in, coming from NYSC that I got, salary from the organization and also salary from the federal government, and now coming to any way lesser than that, right? I did that job for 7 months, about 6 months, roughly. And I was still able to manage myself, and I was still able to, keep those smiles, coming in, didn't matter whether, I was earning 30K or not. I was still able to manage myself. I was still being diligent in my work. I was still being hopeful. I was still being prayerful that, something better will come. And I was really excited that it didn't take long that something bigger came. But was that a moment in my life that I will always remember? Yes, it is a moment I will always remember. And you know how, funny enough, even though I was earning that less, I was still able to, plan the money. I don't know how I did it, but I know that I did it, right? Because even eventually I start earning millions at some point, it will seem like a small money, right? But yeah, but at that time, I kept my hopes alive, right? I kept on to my faith. I knew that it was just a temporary moment. I believed so much in myself that I could get something better. And I think one thing that also helped was that I didn't limit myself. Even in that situation, I could have just beaten down myself and relegated myself to failure. Oh, I'm a failure. Oh, see what my mates are doing. My mates are up there flying, and I'm just here, earning what I was earning. But I didn't think so less of myself, right? And the job that I did at that time enabled me to move around Lagos. So you can imagine when I'm on the street of Lekki and then I'm seeing big houses, I'm seeing nice cars, and I'm like, okay, so people actually are the ones living in these houses. People are the ones riding these cars. So that means that if people can do this, I can also do that. Like, and I know that one day this will also happen to me. So I had a picture in my head that wasn't negative, that was positive, right? So you can be in an ocean of opportunities and you will still think so less of yourself, and you will still have the wrong picture in mind. That's why your environment, where you are, really matters as a person. If I had not, relocated from Akure to Lagos, maybe if I had stayed back in Akure, some of the basic things would have been like the basic things. I wouldn't have seen something bigger. I wouldn't have maybe had a great picture that okay, I can actually become great. So, but because I was able to form that picture in my head, and I was going around seeing a lot of things that people do, and I felt like okay, yes, I have that picture in my head that it can also happen to me, and it will also happen to me. So those were the things that kept me alive at that point in time. I knew that Omotola, you two, you're going to get this beautiful house. And I always say to myself every day, like, I know you are also going to get this beautiful house. You're also going to have a beautiful car. Just keep on doing whatever it is that you're doing, and don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop applying to those jobs. Hey, I applied to as many jobs that I could find. Like, as they were coming out, even some jobs were like 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago, I was applying because I knew that there is more to life than what I was earning. I knew that there was more to life than where I was at that time. And it can only get better, right? Even the job that I'm working right now, some other people are doing way better than myself. So I also wouldn't be comfortable with where I am as well. So the idea is to have the right picture, have the right mindset, believe so much in yourself, have confidence in yourself, and believe that something good can also happen to you as a person, even regardless of the situation that you find yourself. Always have it at the back of your head that something good can happen to me, something good can happen to me. So I think those were the things that helped me to journey through those 6 months that I was working that job, and eventually something good came. And when it came, I didn't sideline myself. I didn't think I didn't deserve it. I knew I deserved it because it was something that I professed to myself every day due to the picture that I had in my head. So the picture that you have about your future really matters. If you think you're a failure, trust me, that is what will play out eventually. But if you think that something good can happen to you, if you think that you can get that job, you can get whatever it is that you want to get, it will also definitely happen to you. So always profess something good to yourself and always have the right picture for yourself.
I actually wanted to keep talking. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh boy, boy, boy. Really, really, I guess this would encourage a lot of people that are currently passing through one challenge or the other. All right, it's just a phase. Recently, I posted it on my WhatsApp status. There's an axiom in Yoruba that says, yeah, I'll say it in Yoruba. All right, they said, anything only, kumaroju, all right, basically it means that just keep at it, keep doing it. There used to be a song many years ago that opportunity comes but once, but we've learned that opportunity can come again and again. All right, just keep at it, keep at it, keep doing it. All the applications, keep doing it. You are setting out your business too. All right, just keep doing it. All right, keep doing it. But I also still want us to talk a little bit more about this challenge. But the side I want us to focus on is Omotola. I don't know if you've experienced it, but I personally have experienced it, and I feel a lot of people are experiencing it. Um, it's it's um, it's how to stay motivated when um, achievements or the opportunity you are looking for seems to be slow. Right? I mean, you feel you said the other time like, okay, yeah, I mean, you worked for in a job 30K for 6 or 7 months, all right? I mean, was 7 months was just like plan? Was it plan for you like 7 months? Or you were? I don't know. I want us to talk to us about how the journey is for you, how the journey was for you. What were the emotions so that people can easily relate with it, and how to stay motivated, how not to give up and just, blame Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria is, all right. So, but don't let us talk about Nigeria here. So, but I just want you to talk to us about how to stay motivated when your personal development or professional development plan seems, can I really reach this thing? Over to you.
Okay. So I think one thing that really helped me, yeah, was the people around me, my parents, my friends. You know, uh, I know it can be really tough when you're going through something alone that, can wear you off emotionally. But speaking to people about it, sometimes having just one person to talk to can can save the day for you emotionally, right? Also kept me going was my faith, my belief in myself, and the church that I found myself, right? You know, I don't know how to explain it, but in terms of my own experience, right, I knew that it was for a short moment. I knew that it doesn't matter what I was going through at that time, it was not going to take long because I knew my potentials. I knew, what I could do. I knew um, I knew the opportunities that could come my way, maybe as a result of what I finished with, or a lot of other things like that. So I stayed motivated by the people that I surrounded myself with because you will always need people to talk to. You may think that you can box everything, you can box it all up in your head or in your mind, but at some point you will explode or you will just burst out crying, right? But having people to talk to once in a while and having this right support system, it could be a community, it could be your parents, it could be your church. I was more involved in church activities. You know how when you start to think about things when you are not doing anything, when you are basically idle, that's when those thoughts can keep coming into your mind or into your head. But when you find yourself basically doing something, you are not idle, you are not just in a space all by yourself, but you are with people, you are in church, or you are just finding something to do. Those are the things that will help you to take your mind off of what you are going through, really. And I will not also skip the fact that God helped me, right? Reading the word, having an understanding about what God has in store for me, reading your Bible, reading my Bible, it really helped me. Most especially going to church. There are some churches that you will go to, and at some point you wouldn't even want to go back home, right? Because you feel so connected, you feel so aligned. The things that the pastor says, aligns with you, aligns with your future, and basically just don't be idle, right? Don't be idle in those times. Find something doing, find something. It could be talking to people, it could be maybe doing community service, right? It could be just find yourself doing something. Don't be idle. Because it is when you're idle that you start to think about things and you start to be, all moody, all down, and all of that. Because trust me, maybe you think that people will even help you out of those situations. But those people
Mm.
too, they might be through a lot that you may not even know because they are not
Yeah.
telling you. So
Mm.
don't it is not the time to fault people for not helping you out or for not, maybe sending you stuff or stuff. It may not happen. So you just have to keep yourself together. You have to understand what the Bible says about you, what God says about you, what you think about yourself, and knowing that opportunities are bound. And one day, beans where we cook, it go done. So
Yeah. So
having that mindset that it is temporary, those challenges are temporary. It's just for you, it's for your testimonies to be more robust, right? Because if you don't go through those challenges, how would you tell people about God's goodness or God's grace? The story will
mm,
not even be so sweet
be
because
sweet.
if you've had
Mm.
it all good right from the start, right? It's not really sweet, right? But when you tell people what you've been through and how God has brought you out of that situation and now you're in a better space, you connect more to it and you thank God more for it. So if you're going through any tough time right now, speak to people about it, your friends, your support system, it could be your siblings or your parents, and find something doing. It doesn't matter how small it is. It could be serving in your church, it could be doing community service, going for all the NGOs, webinars, seminars, anything to keep you alive, to keep you sociable, to make you know people, to more like increase your wealth of influence by maybe connecting with other people, connecting with like minds and all of that. I wouldn't suggest going to therapy because yeah, but then you know how some people also go to therapy just so that they can get things off their mind. But even therapy
Mm.
has to do with speaking to somebody. So again,
Yeah.
you speak to somebody. You have to find somebody that you can confide in, that can help you, that can pray with you, that can, also encourage you, whatever means, whether through speaking to you or through, having fun, going out and stuff like that. Those are the things that can help you, that will help you stay motivated. And again, have it at the back of your mind that whatever phase you are in, however challenging it can be, it is temporary. It is not
Mm.
permanent. It is temporary because it will definitely fix out.
Mm. Thank you so much. Wow. Hmm. Thank you. I guess I need to give people time to just internalize that word. Right. Thank you. Yeah. 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 It's temporal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I wanted to say something, but I mean, thank you. Right. So, I'm still finding the what I want to say. Okay. So, yes, I remember what I want to say now. That's I think to also say it in another word that when you are waiting, someone said that when you are waiting for something to happen, the next thing for you to do is to serve.
Yeah.
Right? Get yourself maybe in the church or in a community, just like she has said. So you're doing something. All right, keep doing something. Don't wait while waiting. All right, don't stay idle while waiting. Make sure you are doing something. All right. Thank you so
Exactly.
much. Wow. Okay. Right. I want us to talk about mentorship. About,
Yeah.
mentorship. What's the place of mentorship or level? Should I also say role model in shaping someone's blueprints? I understand that for many people, we want to figure things out by ourselves. We want to, yeah, do try by error, do everything. And okay, maybe, but what's the place of mentorship? What's the place of role model in, should I say, in shaping a person's growth plan? Over to you, Motola.
Okay, so that one, right, it cannot be overemphasized. You may not call it mentor, you may not call it coach, you may not call it anything, but you should have somebody that you speak to about your plans, that you speak to about your future, right? That you speak to about the things that you want to achieve. So even outside of that, right, you're also supposed to know, okay, having known what you want to achieve, at least you have a start point and you have the end goal in mind, right? You look for people that are already succeeded in those areas, in those fields. So, for example, if you want to go into research, you know people that have done that research and they've succeeded in that research, and then you can meet them to, coach you, to guide you on what you want to do. And then, even in the space of career, you understand that, oh, there are people that are succeeding currently in their career. There are people that have gone way ahead of you that you really admire, and you want to be like, maybe not totally, but you admire their way of work. You admire their maybe their personal growth, or the way they've been able to navigate life generally. Maybe in terms of, it could be anything, and you just meet with them. It could be just sending them a mail that, oh, I would love you to be my mentor. I would love you to be my coach. I would love you to be this for me. But the idea of mentorship is really, really critical. Somebody that you constantly talk to about what you are doing. And in that case, because they've gone steps ahead of you, they understand the mistakes that they've made, they understand what has also worked well for them, and they're able to, teach you those things so that you can grow faster. So, like I said, I was told to develop a 20-year plan for myself, which I did. And do I have that mindset that, oh, I am going to follow like every hook and cranny of, every step of the way of that plan? Maybe not. It could be faster or it could be slower. But the prayer is that it should be faster, right? And but trust me, you can go miles in in such a short space of time when you have somebody that is constantly helping you and guiding you. So that idea of mentorship, it is really, really important, right? I have a mentor, I have a coach. Even if they're outside of my organization, I still speak to them on at intervals rather, right? So you cannot shy away from speaking to somebody about your future, about your plans. It could be your parents, right? It could be, oh, I like how my parents have succeeded in their career. They've been able to raise family, they've been able to raise kids. Okay, mommy, how, daddy, how did you do it? Right? What were your mistakes? What were your, you might not necessarily tell, okay, a professional person, to be your mentor. It could be your parents that are, telling you how to navigate life faster. But it has to be somebody who has moved ahead of you, who is obviously ahead of you in that space, right? And then you can learn from them. So you might be thinking, oh, I want Tony Elumelu to be my mentor. It's not everybody that Tony Elumelu will mentor. It's not everybody that Ali Dangote will mentor. But there are also some other people, that are going far in life, that are doing really well, that you can also reach out to, right, in a professional space, and then just,
Yeah.
tell them you want to be their mentee and stuff like that. But you cannot shy away from telling somebody, at least one person, about your plans, about what you want to achieve, because it is in doing that that you get more insights from them, right? However helpful
Yeah.
it can be, yes, it is in doing that that you get insights from them. So I have a mentor that is constantly telling me to do something, and and at some point I feel like, oh, maybe she just wants me to, because it's like me, branching out of what I'm currently doing right now. And and every time we have conversation, she will still ask me, Alpha, Alpha with this. Is this something that you plan to do? If it is not in your plan, fine. But I'm just saying you could also do this. It will give you more edge, even if to you it might sound ridiculous, right? Like, do I necessarily have to do this? But because she has gotten to a position where she could refer back and see some of her mistakes and see some of the things that she didn't do, and now she's ready to pour them into me. So if I don't have her in my space, maybe I wouldn't have known about such opportunities. Again, your mentor will also help you build connection. So it's not just about telling you about your plans or just discussing your plans. Your mentor will also help you know get those connections. So I remember my first ever conference that I attended on Windies. It was my mentor that paid for me to attend that webinar. And I met quite a number of people that are currently in my space right now that I know that yes, if not for that opportunity, I wouldn't have met those people. So
Right.
mentorship, you meet people and it also help you plan your life better in the sense that you get things done easier and faster. Maybe something that could have taken like 2 years now is now taking like 5 months just because you have somebody's guidance. You know how our parents, when we were growing up, they serve as our mentors, our guardians. There's a reason why they are
Yeah.
called guardians or guidance, right? Because they guide us to see, okay, don't make this kind of mistake. Maybe they have made mistakes in their own previous in their lives and they don't want you to make that kind of mistake. And that is why, they are pouring out themselves onto us, telling us what to do and what not to do. At some point, like I said earlier, it might seem like, why are you telling me what to do and what not to do, growing up, how our parents would tell us, oh, don't do this, go for this course. I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be a this. I want you to be a this, because they've lived a life and they felt like, oh, if I had become a doctor in my early life, maybe life would be easier for me. So that's why
Mm.
they are projecting on you. So there's a reason why you should have somebody in your space that will help you project what you're supposed to do that they missed out in their own life or in their own story. So it is really, really important that you have a mentor or maybe somebody that you speak to regularly about your life. And it could actually as well be your parents. So, but then you cannot take out the fact that you need to speak to somebody about your growth plans, about your career plans.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's really correct, Omotola. There is, I don't know if you're familiar with Vusi Kwayo is a South African Zulu entrepreneur guy. He said something that I really loved, just like what you said. He said there are three people, at least three persons you need in your life. He said number one, he said you need a coach. He said coaches are people that you meet on almost every issue. You relate with, you want to make, maybe your day-to-day decisions. You just need instant advice. So you can see that person like a basketball coach or a football coach that is always there, maybe like a cheerleader, all right, that is always there to encourage you, to tell you that, oh girl, you can do this, you can do it, just apply for it and do it. He said the second set of people that you need is that you need mentors. He said mentors are not people that you reach out to for everything, but when you want to make specific decisions, life altering decisions, then you reach out to your mentor, and your mentor will give you, you know, will give you that thing that you really need. And he said lastly, just like you mentioned, that you also need sponsors. And he said sponsors here are not people that there are people that will, of course, maybe necessarily give you money, but there are people that will speak on your behalf. All right, because there are places that you will not get to. The idea that will say, okay, yeah, I mean, I know her, I know him. She can do it. He can do it. All right. He said these three people, you need them in your life, and I really agree with him. All right, and just like you said, I understand sometimes for me when I'm in a panel session, whether interview or maybe choosing people for leadership, one of the questions that I ask people is, who is your mentor? All right, and it's a big deal for me. It's just a personal preference, right? That it's it's something I don't really understand why some people don't have mentors. All right, because life is so complex to make decisions on your own. All right, yes, you need to take ownership of your decision, quite all right, but you also need to talk to people about it because they will give you different perspectives to the way you see things. All right. Thank you so much, Omotola. Thank you so much for that. I think if you are still on this call, I want you to, if you have any questions, please do well to drop your questions. Uh, uh, and No. Omotola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm saying something that, oh goodness. I want to make sure that we are still connected. Oh, be lifted. Try give me a few minutes. I'm saying from the studio here that we may probably be disconnected. Oh, okay. I think I know what's happening. So we are still connected. All right. So if you can still hear me, if you have any question, please use the comment box. If you have any question, please use the comment box so that Omotola can respond to your questions. All right. But I guess the last official question, I have some unofficial questions that I want to ask. All right. But the last official question I want to ask Omotola is that um, what advice would you give to somebody right now that is stuck and that doesn't know how to start? Some people have started and they are confused. All right, and you've talked about that, but some people are really overwhelmed. They don't have growth plan. They don't know where to start. It's they are taking it. What this prayer? Give us our daily bread. All right. So they are so they are doing daily as they come. That's how they take it. All right. So and for some they are feeling stuck. Some people they really sincerely don't know what to do. So what is your advice to such set of people? Over to you, Motola.
Okay, so if you are stuck and you don't even know where to start, right? Also, I'll advise that you search within yourself, right? What are your strengths? What are your abilities? What are those things that you are very good at? See, trust me, every person on earth has something that is so unique about them. Maybe you can go on a journey of self discovery to discover your true self if you don't know your true self. But there is something unique about you that makes you stand out. It might be something you have not really put your mind to, or you have not really, really examined, right? But there is something in humans that makes them unique. So for me, right from start, I knew that I was a smart child. I knew that maybe I was not very outspoken, but I knew that I could get things done. I knew that reading was not an issue for me. So I decided to like, okay, since I read, I know how to read a lot, and okay, let's look at how we can finish with good grades, right? Okay, let's start from there. So for some of my classmates, right, they are more into business, they are more of a social outgoing person, and they also discovered early in life that oh maybe academic is not the way, but something else. So you can go on a journey of self-discovery to examine yourself within and see what you are really good at. To some people it could be speaking to people, to some people it could be just merely writing, to some people it could be reading, to some people it could be chess, it could be anything at all, anything that you know that you are really good at. You can start from there. So if you are very good in writing, you can start writing journals, you can start writing, putting your thoughts over there on social media and all of that. So but if you are looking into the career space, right, you know that you are stopped, you need money. If money is part of the problem, you know that yes, you really need to get a job. And how do you get the job? You apply, right? Apply to as many jobs that you can see. But if you're the type that, oh, you already have it in mind that, oh, you don't want to go into the career space, you want to be a CEO of your own, then you go ahead and, discover yourself. What do I have a flair for? What is that thing that comes to me naturally, right? and then you establish yourself in that area. To some people, oh, I just like how this person dresses. I love your dress. I want to learn how to make dresses. Then you go into a fashion school and you start from there, right? But to some people is oh, I know how to write, like I mentioned earlier. You start writing journals, you start writing for people, right? You start, there are lots of things that make people unique. So again, if you are stuck, you don't know what to do, examine yourself. Even if you don't know how to examine yourself, tell people, ask people, what do you think? What do you think are my abilities? You just give me a feedback. Okay, what do you think about Omotola? What are the things that you think that I do that you think that they are important, or they are good for me, that I can leverage on? It could be, something really great. And people can also tell you how good you are at something without you even knowing that you are good in that thing. So go on a journey of self-discovery, like I mentioned earlier. If you are unable to discover it yourself, ask people for their honest opinion. Okay, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I'm bad at? What do you think I can improve on? And then you start from there. And like I said, if you need money, you need a job. You need something that can fetch you money. So, and trust me, your skills can fetch you money. What you are good at can fetch you money. It might take a longer period of time, but you have to start. You just have to start something. You can't, nobody is, let me put it in quotes, nobody is going to come and save you, to be very honest. Yeah. As, as blunt as that is, nobody is coming to save you, right? So you have to start that journey of self-discovery, discover yourself, discover your talents, right? Discover what you're good at and start using it to maybe benefit others or benefit yourself. Just start doing something. And if you know that, oh, you've examined yourself, you really don't see that thing that is spectacular or that is unique, you need to start applying to jobs. Start applying to as many jobs as you can. Or in another case, you start writing exams, that start doing some certifications that can help you position, that can position you into getting, better jobs, or connections or something. Just start doing something. Even if you don't know it, ask, okay, again, what is that thing that is booming currently in the economy? It could be tech. It might not even have a flair for it. I have friends that they don't have flair for tech, but because tech is the big thing now, they went into tech and now they're enjoying it. Like they find joy in it and they're doing well in that space. So don't relegate yourself to, oh, I don't have any talent. I don't have any this. You remember in the Bible how God gave, one person 5 talents, one person 2 talents, one person 1 talent, and that person with 1 talent hid his talents. So it doesn't matter, right, how many you have, or just start doing something and have it at the back of your mind that once you start it, you're going to do well. Again, once you start it, have that right mindset that whatever it is that you're going to venture into, eventually you're going to succeed, even if it doesn't look like it now. Give it more time, you will see yourself booming in that area. But you can't say that you don't have something really unique to yourself. No, search within yourself, take a deep breath, and just search within yourself to see what you are good at and start using that to your advantage. So that would be my advice.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Omotola. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Once again, we are here with our special guest, Omotola Olajide. Thank you so much. She's speaking to us right from Lagos. The last time she was in Benin City, but now God has elevated her, and now she's from speaking to us from Lagos. Omotola, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for the warm welcome. All right. I'm always excited to have this conversation. I'm always excited to have this conversation, and especially when we talk about growth, when we talk about personal development, and also share a story of how God has helped us thus far. All right. Thank you again. I did not see any question, so I will go ahead to my unofficial question. To Omotola, I guess the last time she was here, I guess because of time, I did not ask her. So I am going to ask her today. So, Omotola, most times when I invite my guests, I have three questions I ask them. I mean, it's an unofficial question. It has nothing to do with, maybe it has something to do because I'm always keen about growth. I'm always keen about growth. In fact, for the last week, this week, and next week, our topic has been around my personal values. Last week, we talked about ideation and innovation. Today, we are talking about growth in personal development and professional development. Next week, we'll be talking about empowerment. So, my unofficial question is here around that. So, but it's unofficial. So, the question number one, I wish I have drum here. We'll have done drum roll. Right? So, the first question I want to ask you, Omotola, is once again, I want to say thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Um, if you were to meet your 7-year-old self, what would you tell her and why? Is it why now? Yes. Yes. If you were to meet your 7-year-old self, what would you tell her? Over to you, Omotola.
Okay. So if I were to meet a 7-year-old Omotola, I would tell her to stop being timid, be outspoken, right? You don't have to follow the rule like, oh, let an elder speak before you speak, or you don't speak when an elder is speaking. Uh, be yourself. Speak when you need to speak. Defend yourself and build connections, right? Don't be a shy. I was really shy. I was really really shy growing up. So I would tell my 7-year-old or a 7-year-old Omotola, stop being timid. Speak at the face of adversity. Speak when you know that you are correct, when you know that you are in the right, and don't let people talk you down. Stop allowing people talk you down. Stop allowing people's opinion rub over you, because you also have a voice. You have something to say. You have you speak intellectually. You can say the right words, right? You won't speak the wrong grammars, right? You can speak the right grammars. And again, don't let people talk down on you. You don't need that, right? You have to stand up for yourself. You have to be bold. You have to be courageous. You have to be confident. And you have to understand that people can say whatever they want to say, but your opinion about yourself is what truly matters. Your opinion about yourself is what truly matters. So I will tell my 7-year-old self, Omotola, you are also a person and you have a voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that response. And one reason why we ask questions like this is um, number one, it helps our guests you know, to think, introspect, and it's also help our audience to, especially the younger ones, to make certain decisions, especially now, our audience that are ladies or young girls, all right, would be able to, yeah, talk. All right, speak for yourself. If you have something to say, say it. I often tell people, I say there is no way you will know whether what you have in mind is right or wrong until you say it. All right. So say it when it is wrong. Okay, fine. Then you know that it is wrong. But if you don't say it and you are judging yourself inside, sometimes I remember when we were in secondary school, the teacher is asking you a question. I mean, okay, you are not outspoken, so you are a way, but some of us we know the answer, right? But we will just feel like, what if I'm wrong like this? Everybody will not be looking at me. You know? And when the teacher asks, and I know this answer, right? So, but we have been, yeah.
Yeah, do you know it was so bad? It was really bad that when a teacher asked questions in the class, even though I knew the answer, I would never ever talk. That was number one. Number two, I would never ask questions in class because I was too afraid to speak. I was too afraid to, because because I was scared that maybe I would not even say it, I would not put it in the right way. So it was that bad that I would neither ask question nor answer question in class. And whenever I even have the courage to answer question in class, I would start skipping. Like it got that worse. So again, I would tell myself, speak, whether you're going to speak wrong grammars or not, speak it. At least the least that can happen is for you to, the worst that can happen rather, is for you to be corrected. But please
Yeah.
speak. Speak, open your mouth and speak.
Thank you so much for that. You see, one thing that this question has done now again is another invitation. Of course, you're already part of this particular edition, but you know, I personally I pastor teenagers, and many of my teenagers are young girls. All right, and because I'm a male pastor, it's sometimes difficult to send this message to them. I understand temperaments quite well. I understand that some people are naturally quiet. But I also understand that I think there should be a balance to it. All right.
Exactly.
That when you need to speak, let your voice be known. All right. So I know you are saying yes already. I mean, I can read your mind. So I'm going to I'm going to invite you to an exclusive session for young. They are just teenagers. All right. They are just teenagers to just help me probably say the same thing I've been saying um, in um, in a lady's voice. All right, you know, there was a particular time I was having one-on-one session with them, and I asked them, "Who do you want to become? Who like your role model?" And they said me. I said, "I can't be your role model." I mean, it's okay. It's not maybe it's not bad, right? But I just understand that it's better from when it's from a lady. All right. Yeah, let me handle the guys. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let me go to the next question. All right. So the next question, the next question is, um, what book? Or let me change the flow of the question. What's your favorite book or film or audio or podcast or something? What's your favorite? It could be an author. All right. So over to you, Omotola.
Okay, not to sound too personally for me, right? What I enjoy reading isn't actually novels, right? Is maybe scientific research or something happening in the research space, right? But naturally, I am not a novel person, right? I don't thrive well in those areas. I'm also not a movie person, trust me, and that is what I have discovered about myself, right? I am more of somebody who understands the space of, oh, I want to be by myself. I want to be alone. I try best when, I'm in my space. And in that, I'm able to figure out what it exactly that I am or what exactly that I want to become, right? So I wouldn't say I have a book somewhere stuck somewhere that I'm reading, that I've been reading. No. But in terms of research, yes, I love, going into research space, especially about something that has to do with the body, the mind, and how the brain works and stuff like that. So anything about research, you will definitely see me there. But when it comes to reading novels, although I read things fall apart when I was in school, so I think I think that was the only book that I read, right? But movies, I wouldn't say that I also enjoy watching movies. I'm just myself, I'm just Omotola, and I love research, majorly research books. So if you also are in that space that you love research, you love what is going on, majorly in the body, anything that has to do with my body, anything that has to do with something that I consume that can affect my body, I like to research those things. Yes.
How about listening? Do you listen to music or you know?
I don't listen to music. I listen to messages, yeah, from my pastor and from other pastors. But outside of that, no. Yeah. I'm not a music person. I'm not a movie person. I'm not a novel person. But does that mean that there are not people out there that read books or that love novels, that love to watch movies, that love to listen to music? So whatever it is that works for you, just harness that. But for me, I know what works for me. I know that I try more in the research space, and all of those things.
Right. Thank you so much, Omotola. Thank you so much. And the last question is going to be that if there was anybody, whether dead or alive, that you would love to speak with, who will that person be, and what do you want to ask or say to that person? If there was anybody you would love to speak to, whether dead or alive, who will that person be, and what would you say or ask the person? Over to you, Omotola.
You have to give me like 1 week to go and think about
Oh,
it.
goodness.
Because in my wildest imaginations, I wouldn't have, thought of this question. But
Mhm.
then, who would I love to speak to? Hmm. I think one person that I really admired, yeah, in the Bible was King David, right? And how he was able to conquer the whole world, right? How he became God's favorite, how he was the man after God's heart, and how he was able to do all of those things. I think, and how he was very rich. He had, the story of David was just so amazing, right? How he was able to conquer the world, become a king at a very young age, how he was able to kill Goliath at such young age, the confidence. Like I would ask him if I have the opportunity to meet with King David, how, what gave you that confidence that you could bring down a man as huge as Goliath, you know? And and I think that one for me was the major because once you start doing something at a very early stage in life,
Yeah.
you add that confidence within yourself that oh you can achieve this. So imagine him fighting wars and winning. It will tell you, oh yes, it's something that I've done in the past. I've killed the greatest Philistines in the past. So while countries that I cannot, that cannot conquer and all of that. So I would love to ask him where he got that confidence from that he could, just approach a Philistine and kill him. Yeah. I would really love to ask him that question.
Yeah, that's great. Interestingly, I don't know. I think if we were to vote, David has actually won the number here on this podcast. I mean, the majority of my guests, yeah, the majority of my guests, when I asked, they just, no, King David. I said, what was it? I guess we need to go and study this King David again, right? But
Yeah.
Omotola, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, it's always a wonderful session. With you. All right. I'm already dreaming of the next session, right? It's going to be this year. All right. Of course, I'm going to work with your schedule. Thank you for saying yes. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know. I feel like just keep saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Once again, our guest for today. Yes.
I
Over
think
to
we have
you.
a question. I think we have a question on the group chat.
Okay. I don't know why this my sorry, can you help me? I don't know, my chat here is just loading, loading, loading.
Okay.
Do you
So I
mind
think the person
helping
is
me to read?
asking, yeah,
Yeah.
how did you link your interest research to what you do now, like your career? I think that's a question. So
Yeah, please.
if I understand this question, my interest. So like I mentioned earlier that after school, I had two things in mind, right? First off is to go into research, and that has to do with academia, and that also has to do with my course of study, which I know I'm still definitely going to do. But I first took the easier route, which is the career space where I needed to establish myself, to develop myself, and then thrive as a Nigerian. I had, families that, depended on me and all of that. So I needed to first, cater to those things. And that's why I'm in a career space and also growing in that light. And the idea is that I move into research later on. And because, yes, I really love research, like I mentioned earlier, I love things about how things work, in the human body, especially. So, yeah, so I'm not sure I got the question, but currently, I think currently in my career space, I also love that I'm also doing something that is related to my course of study in school. So I think that kind of made me blend more into what I'm doing currently. It gave me that soft landing. That was why I said again earlier that you don't necessarily have to start with the rough parts. You can start from the easier parts. That will give you more confidence to go for the tougher task or the tougher part of things. So again, I'm not sure I understood the question, but linking my interest to what I do now, I'm currently, just to answer that, I'm currently doing something that relates with my course of study in school. And because I have a basic knowledge of that thing, it now resonates better because now I'm not in the practical phase where I'm carrying it out. It's no longer theory that I was taught in school. It's now the practical aspect of it that I'm doing now. And that is why I think I'm able to blend well. But do I have further interest in other things? Yes, I do, and I want to pursue them later on in life. So I'm not sure if I answered that question correctly, but I think I'm able to say something.
Right. Thank you so much. So please, I don't know once you get, I just had to go to YouTube now. I think I can see some people complaining that the audio is, and I don't know why. Okay, I will go ahead and check it out. I really hope that it's not that bad. I really hope so. I mean, okay. So once again, Omotola, thank you so much. Um, Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I really enjoyed my time here. I hope I'm not the one that I'm using my ears to hear what you are saying. So that I seeing audio like this. I'm already feeling somehow, but I will go and check the stuff again. But thank you so much, Omotola. Lastly, Omotola, I just want you to give your final word of advice to maybe somebody just joining right now and wants to just have a feel of what we are talking about is all about. Over to you, Omotola.
Okay, so if you're just joining, we've been talking about personal growth and how growth can be personal to you. And that means you determine what growth is to you and how you want to grow. And for people who are stuck or who are just starting out life, even if you don't know what you want to do currently, at least understand go on a journey of self-discovery to understand yourself, to understand what is unique about you, and then you can channel that uniqueness into something great. So, and if you are looking into, just getting a job, due to the economy of the country, start applying to as many jobs as you can and start having the mindset that something good can happen to you, something good can happen to you. And in the faces of challenges, or in the face of challenge, rather, you have that mindset that it is just temporary, it is for a short time, it is not going to tarry, it is for a short time. So believe so much in yourself. Have a great picture. Have a good picture of what the future looks like for you. Have it in your mindset, oh, I want to be great. The idea is that I'm going to be a good person. And then that will help you to work towards it. But if you don't have that picture in your mind and you're just living life as it comes, then it is whatever life throws at you that you will take. But once you have a picture of where you are going to, write it down. Write it down. It might not be concrete, it might not be robust, it might not even be sure about it, but just write it down and just know that yes, you know how people write down what they want to achieve in the day. You know how you have your to-do list, yes. And at the end of the day, once you see that you have been able to achieve all of them, it gives you some sense of belonging. It gives you some self-confidence that, oh, I called out all of these things and have been able to achieve them. Same way, call out all of the things that you want to see in your life happening. It could be in your career, it could be personally, it could be spiritually. Write them down. In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, I want to attain this level of confidence. I want to be able to have done this and this and that and that. And at the end of 10 years, at the end of 5 years, go back to the drawing board and see, okay, what have I achieved? What are those things I have not achieved? What were the blockers? And what are the supports? What are the things that I need to do to achieve them? Then you replan again, you re-strategize again on how you can achieve those things. But you cannot go far in life if you don't know where you are going to. So you must have a picture of where you want to start from. It might not be clear, but have that picture in mind and have a picture of where you want to end or where you want to be that will make you know that yes, you have actually succeeded or you have actually grown. Have those two pictures in mind because even when you get stuck, at least you know where you're coming from and you know where you're going to. So even when you're stuck, you know what to do, you know who to talk to. And again, you cannot shy away from having mentor or coaches or people that you talk to about your life. So nobody is an island of their own. So you can live life on your own. So it could be a community, it could be a church, it could be a person. Serve, even when I think we mentioned for people that are stuck and they don't know what to do, even while you're waiting, also serve. Go to church, go to things, go to the house, go for webinars, go for seminars, go for conferences that can, help shape your mindset, help remind yourself. Maybe you've had a wrong mindset or a negative mindset about life. Go for conferences that will help shape it and give you a future and a hope. Something that you can hold on to that yes, and read about people that have succeeded in life. And you will know that yes, they also started rough. They didn't have it all figured out. And don't rush yourself. As much as you really want to get out of an uncomfortable situation, also enjoy the process because it's going to be temporary. So enjoy the process and find ways, to get out of those processes or to get out of that situation. And the ways by which you can get out of those situations is when you believe in yourself, number one, you believe God or whatever it is that you believe in, you hold strong to it. And you don't limit yourself. Do not ever limit yourself at any point in time. It might even be like a big situation or a big challenge. Understand the fact that I can do this thing, I can do whatever I put my mind to, I can do whatever it is that I have, set out to do, and I'm going to do it well. So have that self-confidence in yourself, have a community, a support system, you just have to surround yourself with people of like mind, with people that are ready to lift you up and not to bring you down. So once you notice that somebody has that habit of bringing you down consistently, detach yourself from that person rather and be with people that lift you up, that will lift up your spirit, that will give you hope, that will make you understand that life doesn't start at the end of your situation. There is more to life. And if you are already doing well, maybe you're like me, you're already doing well, there is still more ahead. There are still people doing really better. So don't let anything for the kind of opportunity that you are currently enjoying. There is more after here. There is still more. People are doing way better. So believe in yourself. Like I said again, have that community of support. Serve while you are waiting and continue to be diligent in whatever you are doing. It might be small, it might be fetching you small money, but be diligent in it because there's a way the Bible says it that if you are diligent in small, you will also commit bigger things into your hands. So whatever it is that you are doing currently, however small it is, be diligent in it and have this mindset that whatever it is that you are going through, it is temporary. It is not permanent, and that does not define who you are. The situation currently does not define who you are. And for you to have testimonies, you must go through tests. So be ready for those tests. And when those tests come, don't be sad. Don't be weighed down. Understand that there are testimonies that will follow those tests. So brace up yourself. Be yourself. confident about yourself, and be bold. Like I said, when you ask the question of what I'm going to tell myself here myself, be confident in yourself, speak up for yourself. You have a voice within you. Use your voice to your advantage. Don't let people talk you down. Don't let the situation of Nigeria determine what happens to you or how you see yourself. See yourself as somebody that has that potential to be great in life. Believe so much in yourself. Have that picture that you're going to be great someday. It might not come now, but it will eventually come. So have that picture in your mind that you can be a great person and you will eventually be that great person.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Omotola. Thank you so much. I mean, I really do hope that uh, that people will take to heart what we've talked about in today's session, and I really trust God that we have you again. The way I'm even feeling like this, I'm seeing some comments that I really don't like about the audio. All right, so I really hope that I'm not the only one enjoying this conversation. I really hope that others are able to hear. But since somebody asked a question, so I guess maybe others are really hearing what we are also talking about here. But thank you so much, Omotola. It was really, 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 really a wonderful session with you, rather. All right, until next time, Omotola. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Right.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. That is Omotola Olajide. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know for many of us, we're always excited to have her around. Definitely would. Um, we'll look at the possibility, looking at our schedule. All right. Seeing how we can bring her here again. Thank you so much. You'll definitely call here again. All right, one way or the other. Right. But thank you so much, Omotola. I'm really, really excited having this conversation with you. And until next time, we'll definitely see you again next week. I really hope that by next week we'll not have the same audio issue. I'm really surprised. I'm hearing Omotola clearly, and I guess she's also hearing me clearly. So I don't know what may be wrong with the audio, but I will try to troubleshoot it and see how to fix it. All right. Until next time, we'll see you again. My name is Olafise Ige, and God bless you all. Amen.